Hey, welcome back to Dillard Trading Services when it comes to new opportunities. So, when it comes to those of you interested in the first two options that I listed, aka being a trader and getting more capital through the use of my company, and when it comes to sourcing traders to my company, all you need to do for that is have a conversation with me because it's a complicated process in terms of getting all the details straight across. Ain't so easy to do immediately in a video, at least at this point. In the future, I may make a better video about that specifically. But I want to talk about the third main opportunity I presented when it comes to raising capital for existing traders of mine and what that process looks like. This is something that anybody can do, okay? And the point of these videos is that I'm going to be able to teach you how to do this and how to do this effectively so you earn passive income off of it. Because I earn a lot of passive income off of this exact deal these days. This is what I do a ton. And I want to teach all of you guys to be able to do it as well, to really earn some more passive income. Now, let's get to how that is done. So, at the end of the day, people who have money, what do they want to do with their money? They want it to grow for them, you know? If they didn't want it to grow for them, they would have already spent it, okay? Some people will save large amounts of money, but they're doing that to offset fear, and usually even saving large enough amounts doesn't tend to give people a lot of freedom. What gives people freedom is passive income, as we've already talked about here previously. People receiving money day in and day out. Being able to receive money consistently every month for the rest of their lives. An amount that they can then use to spend on things, an amount they can then use to pay their bills. Because let's be honest, everybody has bills. Everybody has things they need to pay for every month. As frugal as you might be, you still got to pay for water every month. Otherwise, you're going to die in 3 days. Let's be honest. You have to be able to pay for everything on a monthly basis. It's just how the world works. So what really gives people that freedom is them having their money invested in something that pays them month over month successfully, continuously, and pays them a large enough amount based on their investment, you know? There's nothing wrong with the S&P 500 here, but, you know, it's only going to yield you on a good year, you know, about 11.5%. Call it 12 to be generous here, as I've said before in these videos. It's not a huge amount. So for people to be able to live their preferred lifestyle, let's say they need $120,000 a year to do that, then they need to invest $1 million. And then they need to hope that they're not in a bad market cycle in order to get the $120,000 every year that's already being eaten at by inflation. So when they get it the next year, it's not quite as good, etc. And most people just don't have $1 million laying around. I don't know if you do. If you do, good for you. But most people do not have $1 million just laying around, you know? So what really helps people? What really gets them there? Successful traders who consistently yield, you know, high-end returns. And the opportunity I am pitching here is one where after they pay their profit cut, people are sitting on more than 12% a month on average, okay? 12% on the month, not the year, on the month. And this is after they pay profit splits, okay? This is an opportunity that really gets people where they need to go. Because think about clients who do have an amount like $100K to invest. If they put that in the S&P, they're looking at $12,000 a year versus they're putting it in a better opportunity such as this one. They're getting that on a monthly basis. $12,000 a month, you know, $144,000 a year. Not exactly the worst number in the world. Know what I'm saying? And that's only if they take it out every month versus compounding. You can definitely see where that gets to a better number. So when it comes down to it, most people can't beat the S&P 500. As I said previously, 85% fail to beat the S&P 500. And yet we've got something here with one of my best traders in the world of crypto here that is getting people, after they're paying their profit cut to the traders, after that, they're still getting to keep 12% on a monthly basis, okay? 12% on a monthly basis. And that is definitely better than 12% on a yearly basis, as I've already said here before. 12% a month, not so bad, you know? And that really gets them where they want to go in life and really gets them the security they're looking for in life. For those that only have 10, 20 grand, they can compound closer to that figure. For those that have larger amounts, they can start off with only the $10,000 or so amount and grow into something reasonable. This is where I direct a lot of my clients personally, just because it gets people the yields they're looking for, they grow to where they're looking to go, and, they're happy. At the end of the day, we're about making clients happy here. We're about keeping clients happy and keeping them financially doing well. So, how does this opportunity work? How does all of this work? Well, when it comes to minimum investment size, the traders take on a minimum investment size of $10,000, okay? So for the clients who do not have that amount of money, there are still options I can teach you about when it comes to creative pooling options. Depends on your country when it comes to building successful pooling options around that and legality. Everything we do must be legal. Always remember that. But there are ways that pooled money can be directed into these kind of things, at least in certain countries where that is legal. In other countries, not so easy. But for the average situation, we look for clients that have a minimum of $10,000 to invest, and most of these clients have a lot more than that to invest, but they want to start off with this, as this is the minimum. So, based on that, they go in to this program. It is a program that is completely non-custodial, which means the client is never handing over their money. How does every scam in the world work? Basically, every scam in the world works where the client gives their money to the person. The person is the scammer. They take the money and they run away with it. If you never give your money to the scammer, then how do you get scammed? Tough question, I know, right? So, what this is non-custodial. The client sets up an account with a brokerage, that one of the preferred brokerages that these groups work with, and then from there, the client's money is traded successfully. They pay their profit split monthly, and of course the client is the only one that can deposit or withdraw in their own account. They are only giving permission over to trade. They are not giving permission for deposits and withdrawals, so the client stays out of any kind of potential scam. That's a basic overview of how this one works. Now, when it comes to more details, I've got more videos on that coming up, but just factor in these things to begin with. When it comes to it, you may think, how do I get clients with 10K plus? How do I land them? How do I attract them? How do I do all that? All that training's coming up. Just start with the basic idea here, okay? 12% a month on average for the client after their fees. That's what the client's getting to keep, okay? And the minimum being 10K. Start with that idea, okay? Just settle in with those two things. Once you've got that in, let's move on to the next video where we talk more about how you attract these clients and then how you get them onboarded here. A big part of this program is that you're not having to do all the heavy lifting. You're not having to close the clients. When it comes to sales, closing is the hardest part, okay? With this, you're only setting things up, okay? At the end of the day, people such as myself and people with my organization close these deals for you. You're just getting the clients into the funnel here, set up, we do the closing, everybody benefits from that, okay? This isn't going to be heavy lifting where you have to do everything yourself. Keep that in mind, because pretty much every other organization I've seen with this kind of process will make you land the clients 100% yourself. You got to know how to close, But we don't make that a requirement here. We don't have to do that. Just keep that in mind with this organization and just with what we do here. Anyway, this video is going on long enough. I will refer you to the next video. Be out here soon enough, and we can go from there. Cheers to you.